Hi, today's special event for my 2019 Izannah Walker birthday celebration is a tour of the doll's house. I'm going to just talk you through this and show you some of the cool things that the dolls own. Their dollhouse is about 10.5 feet tall. Let's see if I can show you. It goes all the way up, almost, you know, to the ceiling of the studio. Well, not all the way because the ceiling is vaulted, but it's very tall. And these are the library steps that I use to climb up and down because I can't reach all of it. So I think we'll start out in the parlor because the dolls would like to say hello. They've just finished their birthday tea and everybody's still sitting around chatting, kind of talking everything over. All of these are antique Izannah Walker dolls, with the exception of this one doll here. She's another painted cloth doll from my collection, and she is from the same time period as Izannah Walker's earlier dolls. She is a contemporary of theirs, and she also hails from Rhode Island. Her provenance puts her as being made in Providence. So not too far from Izannah Walker. I have one more doll that's very similar to this that I think maybe was made by the same person, but other than those two dolls, I really haven't seen a lot of dolls by this maker, and I have no idea who she is, but she's a good friend and the dolls love her, and so she was a very honored party guest yesterday, along with Sweet Prudence, who was our second guest for the celebration. So the parlor is filled with a hand-painted mural, which I did. It's based on Rufus Porter's murals and those of his nephew. Most of the pieces that the dolls own are antiques. This is an early little portrait painted on tin in its original frame. Back here in their corner cupboard, there's a little antique faux blue with flowers and a very, very small tintype in a case. I've got these very cool sconces. They're little antique sconces. They're tin, and they are waiting for me to dip some candles because they're kind of an odd size. So I need to get out the beeswax and the wicks and dip the candles for the girls so that they'll have some light on those dark winter days. Their chairs are all antique doll chairs, and the table is an antique, as is this little mat that they use for a rug. It's madder blue and indigo on a natural linen. So I'm going to climb up the stairs now. I don't really have anybody to be cameraman today, so I'm going to apologize in advance for the jiggling. But we're going to go up to the bedroom. And here's the girls' bedroom. It is hand stenciled. I did this. I cut all the stencils and painted it. I don't really know which one took longer. They both took a really long time. The stenciling might have taken a little longer than the mural, but I think it was worth it because the girls seem to like it. They have their own dressers, also antiques, and lots of little goodies up here on top of it. A little antique trunk and some little antique books, as well as a wonderful new book made by a friend of mine, Sandy Connors, with some great little woodcuts in it. It's fantastic. I know, one hand, how annoying, but I just wanted you to see how beautiful this book is. So these sit at the foot of the bed for a little bedtime reading. And they've got two beds up here and some decoupaged bandboxes which are a pretty rare thing. These are really early pieces, and I really I love them. So that's some of the other things in their bedroom. They need better quilts. These are just cut from full-size adult quilts, but I just haven't gotten around to making their own quilts. And they need some of their stuff to be hung up on the walls. What I'm actually waiting for is antique hand-wrought nails, but I'm having a little trouble finding as many of those as I'd like. So every time I find one, I hang something up, but in the meantime, some of the pieces just sit. If you look up here, this is the attic, and it's pretty much just like a normal attic. I mean, cleaner than my attic and tidier, but it has all those things in it. It has trunks, and it has some of the things that aren't being used. It has the Christmas decorations and the Halloween decorations. Right now it has the parlor stove because it's been too hot this summer to need a stove. In fact, it's still quite warm. This is one of the few new pieces in the doll's house. It's a wonderful wall shelf that I got from Seth Tudor when I went on the Tasha Tudor garden tour this summer, and he does it. It's beautiful. But again, no hand-wrought nails yet, so it's not up yet. Okay, so I'm gonna climb back down the ladder. So we'll go past all of the other pieces and get down to the bottom. Ooh, hooray, did that without killing myself. I don't usually back down with no hands and then try to talk and film at the same time. All right, so the other thing maybe I should point out, the window panes are antique glass, and down here we have the kitchen. I don't have all of they own a lot of china, but not all of the really good china is out in here because my granddaughter is coming to play tomorrow, and she's pretty great. She's only 4 and she's pretty careful, but some of the rarer china I don't keep out when she's here. We'll play with that when she gets to be a little bit older. So this is the kitchen, and it does have antique samplers in it, and this is actually a tiny antique bake oven, and you can really use it for a bake oven in front of a hearth. You could do it, you know, just for one person, or for the dolls, it's perfect for them. And that is a little antique tin tea kettle, probably an anniversary tin. There's some of Isabel's runaway yellow tomatoes. And the paint on this cupboard here is salmon pink, so it's perfect. It's from about 1830. This cupboard's a little bit newer than that. And this one's fairly old as well. And they've just got, you know, all kinds of cooking accoutrements in here. That's a little wall box from Seth Tudor. And there's the birthday candle still on the table from the cake. Up here we've got a little salt box. And yes, there is a mouse in the kitchen. I'll have to tell you the story of the mama mouse that's moved into the studio. Not exactly a Beatrix Potter moment for either of us, but one day I'll write up the story. It's kind of amusing. There's flowers from yesterday, and a candle box to keep your extra candles in. Irons over here heating on the hearth in case we need to do a little ironing. These are antique slates that make up the hearth and the back of the fireplace. They're actually from a roof, from an antique roof on a very early building here in the town I live in. So I think that probably shows you pretty much what's going on here in the doll's house. Oh, and in case anybody just happens to come across them, This is an example of a little hand-wrought nail like I'm looking for. It's holding up an early little miniature portrait that's painted on tin in its original frame. And back here the girls have a little tiny tin type of a little girl and her doll, and some flow blue with fresh flowers in it. I think that pretty much lets you all know. Everybody, this is our other birthday guest. This is dear Prudence, who is just visiting and will be going back home soon. But she also came for the birthday party. So that is a quick tour of the doll's house. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's really fun. Things change around in here. I play with it, and obviously, as I said, my granddaughter comes and plays, and we have a great time, and the Izannahs love it. They don't always stay out here. They usually stay in the house where it's a little more secure and protected, and especially more temperature controlled in the winter. But they do come out to the studio quite often, and when they're out here, this is their home. I'll just do one more quick little run through here. I did design this and had it built by the gentleman that does most of my woodworking stuff. He finishes the inside of my studios and does the things I need done around the house and the barns here. And so he did a great job building this. And if anybody is interested, I would paint for you for your doll houses. You'd have to contact me, and it'd have to be a custom job. I would be able to paint for you on thin wood panels fitted to your dollhouse walls. It is kind of expensive though, because it does take a long time to do this, but that's certainly something we could discuss if you're highly enamored. Or you should just jump in and give it a try yourself. It's great fun. It was slow, but it's just really fun and creative. And actually these walls, these murals and the stenciling are similar to some in my actual real life people size house. So that's why they're out here in the doll's house, because the doll's house is kind of a stylized version of my own house. So that kind of wraps up our tour, and happy Izannah birthday week. Bye guys.